Womanists love music, love dance, love the moon, love spirit, loves love and food and roundness. Loves struggle, loves the folk, loves herself regardless. Welcome to Womanist Theology, the practice of holy play. I'm Reverend Dr. Lakeisha Lockhart, and I am thrilled to walk this journey with you. So first things first, what is womanism? You've probably heard of feminism, but maybe not so much about womanism. Well, let's just start there, okay? So womanism rose because of a gap within feminism. The first wave of feminism was wonderful, powerful, and so necessary for all women. However, many women of color were not seen, heard, or valued because the focus was on middle-class white women. So womanist theologians and mujerista theologians rose in response to say that these particular experiences are different, equally important, and can and should coexist. And then in 1983, American novelist Alice Walker created the term womanism in her book, In Search of Our Mother's Garden. I'm actually going to use her book and read her words the way she wrote them for you. So the first part of the definition, womanist, from womanish, opposite of girlish, i.e. frivolous, irresponsible, not serious. A Black feminist or a feminist of color. From the Black folk expression of mothers to female children, you acting womanish, i.e. like a woman. Usually referring to outrageous, audacious, courageous, or willful behavior. Wanting to know more and in greater depth than is considered good, for one. Interested in grown-up things, acting grown-up, being grown-up, interchangeable with another Black folk expression, you trying to be grown. Responsible, in charge, serious. Part 2. Also, a woman who loves other women sexually and or non-sexually, appreciates and prefers women's culture, women's emotional flexibility, values tears as natural counterbalance to laughter, and women's strength. Sometimes loves individual men sexually and or non-sexually, committed to survival and wholeness of entire people, male and female. Not a separatist, except periodically for health. Traditionally universalist, as in mama. Why are we black, pink, and yellow, and other cousins white, beige, and brown? Answer, well, you know the colored race is just like a flower garden, with every color flower represented. Traditionally capable, as in mama, I'm walking to Canada and I'm taking you and a bunch of other slaves with me. Reply, it wouldn't be the first time. Part 3. Loves music, loves dance, loves the moon, loves the spirit, loves love and food and roundness, loves struggle, loves the folk, loves herself, regardless. Part 4. Womanist is to feminist as purple is to lavender. According to Linda E. Thomas, womanist theology is critical reflection on Black women's place in the world that God has created, and take seriously Black women's experience as human beings who are made in the image of God. Given the history and reality of Black women, it is important to remember that Black women are not an accident or a mistake, but were made in the image and likeness of God. Think Genesis 1:26. Dolores Williams states that womanism and womanist theology actively resists oppression in all forms that might hinder one's freedom and flourishing. She also notes that womanist theology gives Black women an arena in and through which to share their stories, and to have those stories and experiences affirmed and lifted up as important. Womanist theology strives to take the fabrics of life and faith and to holistically weave them together, like this quilt behind me, as lives are intricately and filled with ethical and moral dilemmas. Now, based on Alice Walker's definition of womanism and the works of womanist trailblazers, scholar, activist, and ethicist Stacey Floyd Thomas, lays out the 4 tenets of womanist ethics as radical subjectivity, traditional communalism, redemptive self-love, and critical engagement. And now that we have a solid base for womanist theology and ethics, we're ready to turn to play. Play is a part of our human nature. Play is an aesthetic experience that involves the body and the mind and is therefore deeply embodied. Play is also a cultural expression that functions as a way of expressing one's identity and very being in the world. Play allows space for Black women to see their world anew and reflect radical subjectivity as they embrace themselves. It allows them to learn and appreciate the community from which they come through traditional communalism and engage in culture and community. It invites them to love themselves no matter what through redemptive self-love, to embody God's love for themselves, and to be engaged as equals with freedom through critical engagement and an enkindling of the world.